Now I'm going to be talking about ninth grade. So, anyway, in ninth grade, if you can't really see me, well, how did this? I don't remember how it started. Oh, it started with, yeah, I wrote another letter, and basically, instead of it being on the computer, I wrote it by hand, and I wrote really, really small. And basically, I was pretending to be, like I said before, when I was pretending to be this girl, and I said she was a lesbian. I blamed the same girl again for writing this nasty note about all these negative girls and guys in my art class when it was really me. So I bring it into school one day and told them that it was her. They flipped out, went to the principal's office. The girl almost got suspended because they actually thought it was her. And her mom was called and everything, and her mom was very pissed at her. But afterwards, they basically, the one girl basically ratted me out, saying that I gave her a note. So I had to go up to the principal's office, and I really didn't know what to say because I really didn't think I would get caught. And so I was basically still blaming it on the girl, saying how she was nothing but a liar and why isn't she telling the truth? And I basically said it to her face. And basically, I'm the kind of person that would say shit to your face instead of being fake and saying it behind your back. Anyways, so I basically said it to her face, and she still got more and more pissed. But I got away with it. And then the next day, well, after I got away with it, I was in last period, and this girl's like, we should backstab her. And I overheard them saying it. But the way they were going to backstab me is by telling this guy that I really liked that I actually had a boyfriend. But I was always around him. So they really couldn't say anything. And at this time, me and this guy, we were kind of getting along, but not really, because he's crazy. And he basically was the only person that understood me a little. Well, not really. But anyway, so the next day, I went into school, and I got called down to the principal's office. Here, they backstabbed me by writing a fake note. Somehow got it to the similarity with my small handwriting, and I got in trouble for it. I was suspended for, I think, 3 days. I'm not really sure because I can't remember that far back. And after I was suspended, I went back to school. And as soon as I went back to school, I wrote another note. But it was negative. I wrote another note to these bullies saying how I felt, which they didn't appreciate it at all. And then afterwards, I actually had a therapist at the time, and I got so mad that I basically said I was going to poison these two girls. And they took it where I was actually going to poison them to the point where they would die. But I'm not the kind of person who would kill someone. And so anyway, I got in trouble. I wasn't able to go to school the next day. And I was called out, and I was told that I was sick. And I didn't even realize what was going on. And so anyway, I was begging to go to school because I didn't know why I wasn't able to go to school. And so I was making up this big story about how I was being bullied. And the one thing I do not get is how some people, when they get bullied, the victim gets suspended or gets in trouble. when really it should be the bully. So anyway, I found out why I actually wasn't able to do school. And I was out of school for 10 days, I think, or 10 weeks, one of them. And basically, my school, I almost got expelled because the school I went to didn't even want me to go back to that school. And I was supposed to go to this bad girl school. But that bad kid's school didn't even want me at that school. And so, and so the school of Springford had to take me back, even though they really didn't want to. But they had to take me back. I was also doing homeschooling as well. And no one really wanted me back into that school at all. I had a lot of haters, which I really didn't care. And so, I went back to school and everything. No one really wanted anything to do with me. And like I said before, I really didn't care. And so, it got to the point where this guy would actually talk to me and just wanted stuff from me. Oh, which I forgot to mention, I actually did get in trouble because someone ratted me out because this girl needed money and I gave her money, and I was told that the only reason I had these so many friends is because I gave them money and because I was rich. And it went around the whole entire school in high school, like in the beginning of 10th grade, where people said that I was rich, filthy rich. They didn't want anything to do with me, which I'll be getting to that when I talk about my high school. So, later.